Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to make a quick video on why I think Floyd Mayweather is straight up deluded, in my opinion. It's an opinion of mine, and it's regarding the recent interview, and actually he spoke about this quite a bit, that he thinks he's better than the great Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all times, the greatest boxer of all times. Not just the greatest boxer of all times, one of the greatest humans the world has ever seen. One of the greatest humans. It's a privilege to be living, well, not at the time of the prime of Muhammad Ali, but at least I'm alive and he's alive right now. It's such a privilege. So I want to talk about the recent interview Floyd Mayweather had. Now, he said to Stephen A. Smith that no one can brainwash me into telling me that Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali are greater than me. Then he started dissing Muhammad Ali. He said, listen, when he was my age, he lost to Leon Spinks, who had 7 fights, but Muhammad Ali came back and beat him. Listen, that wasn't Muhammad Ali, the Muhammad Ali we remember him to be. Whenever you look at greatness, please look at the greatness that they were in their prime. I'll give you an example. Take Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the greatest military commanders of all times. In his prime, he was unbelievable. In Waterloo, he lost to Wellington. Right? When you look at greatness, look at the prime. Now, he said that, that was stupid of Muhammad Ali for doing the rope-a-dope where he put his back to the ropes and he took the immense blows of Foreman, immense blows. Let me tell you guys something. Muhammad Ali was meant to die in that fight. There's no exaggeration. There was medic people all over that stadium in Zaire. Even though I love the way the crowd shout, Ali, Mumbai, kill him, kill him. Listen, Floyd Mayweather, he's never fought an opponent like George Foreman. He's never had to fight against a Sonny Liston. He's never had to fight somebody of Joe Frazier's caliber, ladies and gentlemen. These guys were killers. Muhammad Ali lived at a time where boxing was in his prime. They were killers at that time. Muhammad Ali got his jaw broken on several occasions, and he was very good defensively. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Who's Floyd Mayweather? Can you just tell me one guy Floyd's fought on who can compare with George Foreman? Just one. Who? Who? Sorry? Canelo Alvarez. Are you mad? Who? Anybody? Is it Robert Garcia? Madonna? Come on, man. Who has he fought? Ricky Hatton? Oscar De La Hoya when he was, in his latter part of his career. Come on, man, and that was a very close match. Listen, please, you cannot compare anybody to and listen, I'm going to be honest with you right now. Floyd, I've watched many of your fights and I've fallen asleep. I'm being serious with you. Now, when he talks in interviews, he's like, well, I'm not here to make you happy. You haven't done your homework against me. Bruv, listen, man. How would you fight somebody like George Foreman? You'd get decimated, man. They would destroy you. The only way of beating Foreman was to make him tired. That is the scholar of boxing. Today, boxing ain't the same, man. You can pick and choose whether you want to fight. It took you 5 years to fight Manny Pacquiao. You've been running from him for the last 5 years. If it was Ali, Ali would fight anybody. Mike Tyson would fight anybody. Man, this is what I mean. And you claim you're the greatest ever. And Sugar Ray Robinson? Man, let me tell you, they're way above your league. And I want to get to the point where he says, Floyd Mayweather says, well, I fought in 5 different divisions. I'm a champion in 5 different divisions. Muhammad Ali could never lose. What do you want him to do? He's a heavyweight. He's a natural 6'3" heavyweight. He ain't 5 foot something like you. He's a natural heavyweight. What do you not understand? Do you want him to lower his height? Do you want to chop limbs off? What is it that you want? Why do you... Let me tell you something. You often say, oh, who's Manny Pacquiao? Oh, he's that guy. Manny Pacquiao's big because of my name. Let me tell you, your name is fragile compared to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is an icon, an inspiration to the whole world. Who have you inspired in your life? Floyd Mayweather does everything for himself. Flaunts his money. He does it for himself. Ali fought for the black people. Ali fought for Islam. Ali was a symbol. And the greatest people at that time, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, loved Muhammad Ali for what he did. When he said, no Viet Cong ever called me a N-word. and not going to Vietnam to fight. And he lost 3.5 years of his prime boxing for that beautiful cause. He stood up for the black people. Look at his interviews. Muhammad Ali was offered to be a professor in Oxford, in one of the biggest, I think it was Harvard University. He was so intelligent, and they asked him when he was old, what is it that you want to be? He said, I would love, if I wasn't a boxer, to be the first black man on the moon. He's always thinking about the people. He did it for them. He never did anything for himself, and that's what made him so great. That's what greatness is. Greatness is not, doing everything for yourself. It's about being selfless rather than being selfish. And some of the things that he said, well, he lost to Leon Spinks, man. Let me tell you something, man. Please, you look at his prime. Beat Sonny Liston at age 22. Had a rematch, beat him with the anchor punch, the one Jack Johnson used to use, man, back in the days. Look at the resume that, let me tell you something. Forget me, I'm a nobody. Mike Tyson said, I am great. But when it comes to this, man, every head must bow, every tongue must confess, this is the greatest of all times. That's it, and he asks people, Floyd tells people, do your homework. You do your homework. What makes you think you can even get to that league? Bro, let me tell you something. I think, no exaggeration. I think no exaggeration intended. I think Manny Pacquiao would have beaten you 5 years ago. The reason why I'm in this fight now is because your legacy is in trouble, whilst Ali's legacy was complete. It was complete. And let me tell you something about Ali. Ali didn't just stand up for the black people, he stood up for the whole world, and that's why he was the sportsman of the century. Do you think Floyd would get that? Never. He would never ever be able to get, he would never be eligible for that category of being the greatest sportsman of the century. Please understand one thing, that I respect Floyd. He's a great fighter. In the ring, he's amazing. I will admit that. Defensively speaking, he's one of the greatest of all times. But you must understand one thing, that Floyd Mayweather has never ever been to a fight where he was expected to lose. Even this fight happening next week on Saturday, he's expecting to win. He's a master, that's why he's the best, he's the greatest, no one can beat him. No, he's living in an era where he's just above everybody else, and I can admit that, except Pacquiao, and that's why this fight's taken so long to come into fruition and actually happen. So my point is this: Muhammad Ali was expected to lose against Sonny Liston. He was expected to lose against, Joe Frazier in the first fight because he wasn't in shape. He was expected to die against Foreman, but he had the heart of a lion. Let me tell you guys something. Floyd Mayweather says athletes are bigger, badder, stronger than the past. Might be true, but let me tell you something. Stronger, never. Endurance, stamina, never. They used to fight 15 rounds and still fight like heroes. Today's athletes do not have the heart of the past athletes. And let me explain this. If you look at the past, these guys were warriors. They weren't of large mass, but they were of quality. They weren't very big. Muhammad Ali, was he big? No, he wasn't that big. He was of quality. His arms, his everything flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And let me tell you something. Floyd Mayweather, you're a genuine hater. You don't like to be compared to anybody. You think you're in on a different planet. But let me tell you something. When you die, no one, people might remember you, and when Muhammad Ali dies, the whole world will remember, and for centuries to come, people will speak the name of Ali. They will speak the name of Mike Tyson. These are pioneers of boxing. They paved the way for you to be at this stage now. You copy Ali, you copy him, and you're flashing, taunting, saying you're the best, this and that. Ali used to do that many years ago. You copy him and you say you're better than him? Come on, man. That's like saying to your dad, your dad who raised you, Dad, you're nothing compared to me. That's just so disrespectful, man. And let me tell you something. If you ever fought someone like Foreman, you would do the rope-a-dope. If you were a heavyweight, you wouldn't be able to fight in 5 divisions because it's not bloody super heavyweight, super heavyweight, super this, super that, super this. So please, use a bit of this when you're talking about Ali. And I just want to end the video there, and I just want to say one thing, that Muhammad Ali is an inspiration to us all. Floyd Mayweather is not an inspiration to me, and I don't know many people who are inspired by Floyd Mayweather, you know, just chucking out his money. I will admit he's a hard worker, hard work, dedication, but to compare with Ali, you're going out of your shoes there, mate. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out.